Meet cute, boy, your meat is really fucking cute.
It's your primitive is why yet. It's your primitive is why yet. If you got a big, let me search it to find out how hard I gotta work. Yeah, it's your primitive is why yet. It's your primitive.
Hey, this is Joshua Harvey with Matt Shipway, and this is a podcast we like to call Meet Cute.
Yes.
It's two cute guys just talking about shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not shit. We talk about quality things.
We can talk about that if you want.
So, all right,
But I'm
so
leaving it up to you today.
I am going to preface this by saying Matt does not know what we're talking about today.
And that's my choice. I don't want to know.
So
I want to keep it entertaining.
He really should
not
be.
just you guys, but for me as well.
That falls in line with how I know Matt. He's Matt, I don't want to know Shipway.
Yeah.
Which is a lot, it's how everyone else feels too. I don't want to know Shipway. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Just pouring the rest of my alcohol. I think we need to do lots of prefaces before we get into the topic, though.
Okay.
Matt and I are tired.
Yes.
Very tired. Matt, how was your day? I sort of got a preview, but I want you to elucidate a bit.
Well, I did a little bit of day drinking.
Uh-huh.
And
it's good for you.
It's nighttime now, so I'm drinking is Gatorade because my body craves it.
I liked your other delivery better.
Yes, it's what drunks crave.
There you go.
Yeah.
What sort of day drinking were you doing?
The heavy kind.
Hey, look you go.
Well, I mean, not really, because I was doing my other podcast and we did it early today.
Oh, that's always a mistake. Do you guys always drink heavily for that?
Usually. No, well, sometimes.
I mean, I know you boys know how to drink.
Yes.
I mean, listen to you guys.
Well, then again, we also usually record it like in the afternoon.
Oh,
but
smart.
today we recorded it like midday. So.
Oh, good times. You should plug it real quick.
Nah.
God damn it, Matt. Why not?
Okay, it's called the Ham Brothers
There you go.
Podcast.
Uh-huh.
You can find that one.
Follow it, like it, rate it. But rate it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Find a movie that you really liked and then review
Just
it.
mention us.
Yeah.
Review the Ham Brothers.
That's actually a good way of marketing it. Like, go to really popular movies where there are lots of good reviews and then do a review of something you want to promote. It's like plugging something on someone else's dime.
Yeah, maybe that way Batman vs. Superman would have gotten a lot better reviews.
Oh. So I saw that. I don't want to get into it right now.
Okay.
We could go down a dangerous rabbit hole, and that's not what we're here about today.
Well, then what are we here about today?
Well, being as you're tired from day drinking,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm tired from being at a job all day, I thought we would talk about employment.
All right.
That's a boring way of saying. I'm going to talk about job sites. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Seem like a reasonable thing for you, Matt Shipway?
I guess.
All right. I've been living in fear of you being like, oh, that's dumb. Why would we want to talk about that? No one wants to think about their job when they're listening to something that they're supposed to be enjoying.
Right. Well, I don't have a job right now, so it's more of like a fantasy for me.
But I mean, like, that's the thing. You're day drinking. That's a lovely thing. It is. We're recording this on a Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and I envy you. Not all jobs are Monday through Friday, though.
Right.
I'd say the best ones are a little bit more relaxed than that. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you're able to do that. I consider what you're doing a privilege. Like,
Yeah, no, it's great
an
not having any money.
Look, you are able to do what you want midday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah, but most of the other time is just sleep. That's my weapon of choice.
Oh no, that's what everyone loves to do, and you're doing it. You're addicted.
Jealous.
I kind of am. I woke up this morning just like I rarely wake up, and I'm like, I could sleep a lot more, but I did this morning because I woke up at 6:30 for no reason.
Oh my god.
I don't have to wake up at 6:30, but I did.
Well, that sucks.
I have sleep problems, but it's not your fault.
Well, good, because I wasn't going to let you blame me for it.
But the rest of this episode, anything that goes wrong, I'm definitely going to blame you.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So, I guess we're talking about jobs. I think we're the most interesting part about this podcast. So, Matt, what was your first job?
My very first job, I worked at a Domino's. I was making pizzas.
Really?
And yeah, like answering phones and making pizzas for people.
That sounds fun.
And it was funny because I was like 16. Like, I got away with so many things. Like, I was supposed to have like a work permit. I never got one. I never got a food handler's card. Like, I just worked there. And they kept saying, like, you need to get these things. I was like, okay, sure. Never did.
Pizza Hut really runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
What city was this Pizza Hut in?
Domino's. It was
Domino's.
in Chino. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disparage the
Get it
name of
right,
Pizza
Josh.
Hut.
I have nothing against Pizza Hut at this moment.
They're kind of, I mean, they make pizza, so we
Yeah.
owe them a debt of gratitude. They fight the good fight.
Mhm.
I support our pizza makers. So you were 16? God damn it.
Yeah. 16, 17, something like that.
That's pretty nice. I didn't even know that they let people that young work at those places. I thought you had to be like older.
Well, I just
Because
applied
I mean,
and
I
let
know
me
they demand
go
like
in.
a high level of responsibility.
Yeah, apparently not, because none of it fell on me.
What sort of shit were you getting away with?
Oh, well, mostly that. Well, I mean, I don't know if I should go into it. I don't want to incriminate myself or anything.
Yeah, I think the statute of limitations is about passed
Okay,
on
that
this.
should be fine. Well, I mean, I used to just, like, take pizzas. I used to put in fake orders, like, if I was hungry. And then be like, oh, because what they would do is, like, if nobody showed up for their pizza, then they would just let us eat it.
That's fair.
So I would put in fake orders, and be like, oh, nobody came. Guess it's pizza time.
I bet that loophole still exists, though.
Oh, probably.
Because, like, what are you supposed to do?
Not eat it? I mean,
It's
that's
dumb.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's wasteful. That's worse than being un-American.
Right.
Well, that's, I mean, so you never had to buy food, essentially, when you worked there. But I'm sure you grew
Yeah,
weary of the
no.
pizzas real quickly.
No. I mean, it's
I
pizza.
love that you said that. That's my favorite thing.
It's like, I think pizza's like the one thing I could probably never get sick of. I mean, I don't want to test that, but, you know, I didn't work there like 40-hour weeks or anything like that, so I'd have pizza like maybe 2-3 times a week
God,
on the company,
you've lived the ultimate life, you know that, right?
I
You're
guess.
just like, I'm sleeping, I'm getting day drunk, I am eating pizza 3 nights a week. That's, oh God, I hate you. I don't hate you, I love you.
I know.
But also give me some of your pizza. When was the last time you had Domino's then?
Oh, months ago?
Okay, so it was recently.
Yeah, I guess.
I discovered there was a Domino's near my house, and it has been difficult to not go there.
Yeah, pretty sure there's Domino's everywhere.
No, not in San Francisco.
What?
San
That doesn't make
Francisco's
sense.
not known for its big chains.
Well, yeah, that's true.
They like their smaller businesses, unless they're startups.
Mm-hmm.
And then they don't give a shit. But, yeah, so it's a lot of, like, small places that,
Right.
you know, may be more expensive, but gosh darn it, they're city owned. Well, I mean, owned by people in the city, gosh darn it.
Mhm.
But I think one of the things where, like working for like a major conglomerate like that is they just don't like, you don't feel like you're given any shit about. So there's no reason to like act like a good worker.
Yeah, no. Like, I was 16, 17. Like, I wasn't trying to make this my career. I could give zero shits about that job.
And that's what bothers me about people who get upset at places like that, because there is a Domino's near me and I was in there and I did hear people complaining, a lady complaining, and I just want to be like, lady, no, look at them, leave them alone.
Yeah, no, I defy you to, like, complain to me if I'm working in a food place, because that's the last person that you want to complain to. Like, that was, yeah. There was a few times where, like, people would yell at me on the phone, where I'm like, do you want your pizza or not? And then they would continue yelling at me, and then I'm like, okay, I'll give you some extra toppings. I spit.
But did you ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have a food handler's card, so I didn't have to worry about losing it or anything. So,
Wait. So by your logic, I don't have a food handler's card. So wait, is it that you can't be held accountable, or you didn't know better?
well, I mean, whatever sounds right at the time. I'll go with that.
But the excuse essentially is the food handler's card.
Sure. A little bit. Yeah, we'll go with that.
God, you must have been great. You must have been a little shit back then.
Not really. Like, I'm pretty laid back, and I was even back then, but that was my revenge. Like, there's not much I could ever do when people yell at me, because I don't really like confrontation, and this was my way out of confrontation. Like, I'm just gonna spit in your food and never say anything about it.
You'll know.
It's my secret.
All right, but here's a good question for all those people who fear spit in food. Did you do it before or after it was cooked?
Do it before, and then if nobody was looking, if I happened to be cutting the pizza after, then yeah, I would do it after.
Was there any fear that someone would notice?
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's why you gotta be secretive about it. Or, make it like a group effort. It's like, hey, this person was an asshole on the phone. You guys want to spit on this pizza?
So if
make sure
if anyone goes down,
around.
it's everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't fire all of us. Who's going to work tomorrow?
Right.
You can't just hire someone off the street to do as good of a job as me today. Baby. Dang. Any other perks to that particular job? I mean, it sounds like a pretty sweet first gig.
Yeah, it was okay.
I mean, it's food, so I know
Yeah.
that's like a typical teenage thing. But, I mean, it's still pretty sweet if you ask me. I like pizza. I didn't have to work food until, I got to San Francisco, and that was recently. Because I worked at a Pete's. But my first job was installing carpet.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. I stopped saying laying carpet because everyone was like, hey, 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 hey.
Right.
I used to, my old landlord was a big redneck, and every time I said that, he's like, yeah, you were. I was like, I was 16. He's like, even better.
So you're experienced then.
But yeah, just putting carpet into fucking places in LA. It's not fun, doing anything in construction. It was when I was doing that, I was like, I look forward to the day where when people look at my hands, they see how smooth and soft they are. Because that's all I wanted, was to not have these gross, disgusting hands and to be waking up at 6. To go do shit. Well, leaving at 6. Like, man, those fucking workers start so goddamn early. Tons of respect. Like, I won't give cops discounts when I'm working a register, but I will definitely give discounts to guys who I know have been working since 6 in the morning at some crazy construction job.
Yeah, but then again, also I also kind of hate those guys because I'm trying to sleep and you're being way too fucking loud right now.
Well, that's the thing. The place that I was at, no one was in, because if it doesn't have carpet, it's not being lived in.
Right.
It was cleared out. It had just been built, or it was being renovated or something. So I never had to deal with people. That was cool. I sort of had to deal with blue collar people, and that's kind of obnoxious. Because they're all just like, hey, titties. Titties.
Yeah.
And I don't like talking about my appreciation of titties. I like to keep that to myself.
Yeah.
Much like
for me.
Much like my appreciation of comic books, I like to keep my titty appreciation to myself.
Yeah. Observer.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, but I like to look at both of them. Let's just suffice to say that.
Yeah.
I like to look at them and flip through them.
Those are my two favorite things that my eyes like to be
Flipping
used
through
for.
comics and boobs. How do you flip through boobs? I don't know. That's a weird thing to say, but I'm willing to do them to you, ladies. And we're losing people by the moment. But, yeah, that job sucked. But, I learned how to do things, I guess. I learned how to work hard and want to do something academic. It really inspired me to not want to work for a living.
Yeah.
Real work. I don't consider anything I've done work for the past while.
It's your life, man.
Shut up. Well, give me your favorite job.
I can't really say honestly that I've had a favorite job.
What's the least shitty job? Well, let's go in the other direction. What's the shittiest job you've ever had?
Oh.
Matt's a serial job haver. So he's just like, he really can't settle on it. He's always cheating on him. Going for one or the other. It's real serious.
Right.
And then it's not.
I think probably the most boring job I ever had was working at Dave & Buster's.
I vaguely remember the fact that you worked there.
Because I was like a
That
doorman
sounds like
slash
a
like
fucking
bouncer.
weird ass job.
It was just it was so boring. Because I would usually work the day shift when like nothing was going on. And so I would just stand at the door, either opening the door for people. And that's pretty much it. Just opening the door for people.
That's it? You got paid for that?
Yeah.
What essentially was your job, though? Like,
I don't know. Opening doors and greeting people, I guess.
So you
and
wait,
kicking
were you a
people out
bouncer
if I
or a
had to.
greeter? Are you sure you didn't work at Walmart?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Pretty sure. No, like they would, because like Dave & Buster's. I mean, I haven't been there in years, but
Hold on a sec. Is Dave & Buster's like a national thing?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
So we don't need to explain that.
Yeah, no, most people know what.
But I
Dave &
like to
Buster's
explain
are.
it. It's an arcade for adults.
Yeah, like I would have to like card people and either tell people that if they were allowed to come in or like escort drunk people out. And there was one time I had to trick some guy he was really drunk. I had to trick him into leaving. Where
Tricking drunk people, it doesn't sound that complicated.
it's really not that hard, but it's fun. It's rewarding in its own. But yeah, like the guy was drunk and I think he stepped out to go have a cigarette and then my manager came and was like, "Don't let this guy back in." So I was like, "Okay." So he gets back in line and I check his card or his ID and I ask him to step over to the side. I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm going to need you to go to the back of the line." I must have done that about 3 times before he just left.
Just sending him to the back of the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good tactic. You bored him to death.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't a Dave & Buster's in a nice neighborhood. Or like a nice...
I mean,
was it? I guess it was at the
Yeah.
mall?
Yeah, at the Ontario Mills.
Oh, man. Well, alright. I guess, to me, that's like the borderline outer desert, though.
Yeah.
So you're getting everyone from I wish I was in Orange County to this is the nicest place I've ever been.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, this is the size of 15 football fields. This is amazing.
It just, that place weirded me out because I don't really enjoy video game, like, not video game, but like arcade games.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like keeping my money. And
Right.
But I loved the fact that they had alcohol.
Yeah.
It was the first place I ever had a shot. I know. Guess
Yeah.
what that shot was?
Tequila.
No, not even as fancy as what I was having.
Well, then I don't know.
Grosser. You know what? I can't even say it was a shot. It was I don't even know what you'd call it, but it was Jaeger bomb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, back in the Jaeger days.
That's when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
So like way back when. They're disgusting, by the way.
Yeah.
But they're so Inland Empire. They're so desert to me.
Is it? I never would have put those two together.
Wait, because it's Jaeger
I feel like
dropped
Jaeger
into energy drink, right?
Yeah,
That's-
into like a Red Bull.
Well, this was Monster, to be fair.
Yeah, okay.
And fuck, how old was I? 22. I started a little late. So, yeah, it was delicious to me. I was like, wow, this is so good.
Well, they were. I remember that's like, for a long time, that's all me, you, and Tony Jonathan would drink, really.
Oh, God, it's so disgusting, though.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it's not good for you.
Yes, I remember.
We should get in trouble for that.
Well, I mean, it's not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure people figured out that putting Jaeger inside of energy drinks or alcohol in energy drinks isn't necessarily the most healthiest decision to do.
My whole thing is I can't even smell black licorice anymore. Like, it's truly that thing Jaeger's that thing that I threw up so much that the thought of it just makes me look at this alcohol that I'm drinking right now and rethinking. I'm not going to stop drinking though.
That's fine.
Oh, it's so good. To this day, I still can't do straight alcohol. Not a little bit of difficulty. So that the most boring job, but I feel like that place had to have some crazy stories associated with it because it's truly like such a big place that there's probably a lot going on in a given amount of time. But I guess you were working a lot of days.
Yeah, I was usually working day shifts, and yeah, nothing crazy ever really happened when I was working there.
That's no fun whatsoever.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
How did you leave?
I got another job, and I was like, I'm not coming back anymore. They're like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. I found a job that's going to pay me twice as much as this one, and plus I get to, like, do stuff, so...
And I'll be there forever!
Yeah. And I wasn't.
We never are. Let's see here. Jobs. So, what's the longest job you've ever had? This is turning into me interviewing you.
Yeah, I know.
Because I like knowing all about you. Because you've had an eclectic array of jobs.
Yeah. Well, I think longest job I had was for like 3 years working for Time Warner, where I was an installer.
Oh, that was all right.
And
yeah, I guess it all ran together in my head, but it was after I'd moved, so I don't think was it after.
No, you were still around when I was working for Time Warner.
Yeah, that's a sweet gig.
Yeah, it was. Like, yeah, like how people are always so pissed at cable people for never being on time. It's like, I understand why, because we would just fuck off and like do whatever we wanted in between like shifts or in between jobs. So yeah.
Really, there wasn't like a quota that you needed to meet per day? I mean,
no,
I guess
there was.
There
was, but there was it's really easy to make up an excuse for like a house to say, oh, this, I can't install the cable here today because of this reason. And so then you have like two free hours to do nothing.
And get paid for
it. Yeah, I took a lot of naps on that job.
Oh my God. You really do like your sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can't blame you, but still, that's pretty. It gets really hot in SoCal though. So wasn't that ever an issue? Because I'm guessing you slept in the van.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it would get really hot, but then I didn't have to pay for my own gas, so I just leave the car running and have the air conditioner on. I'm probably never going to find a job after this episode gets released.
Notice I'm keeping quiet about all my jobs.
Yeah. God damn it, you tricked me.
This episode will just be, don't hire Matt.
Yeah.
But I feel like what do you think your skill is? Where's your skill set lie?
I'd like to say I'm a jack of all trades.
This isn't an interview, although I should do a mock. Let's go through a mock interview real quick. All right, so it starts. You need to impress me. Let me think of a good job you can be going for. Going for a call desk. It's people looking at you for answers. Just to put your head in the games. So, hello, Mr. Shipway. How you doing?
I'm fine. How can I help you?
What? Oh, I would like to talk to you a little bit to see if you're a good fit for our company.
Oh, I am.
Well, I'm sure you are.
Before, let me, I know you have a lot of questions to ask, but let me just start this off by saying, I have an IQ of 141.
Oh,
and
that's good.
So you're gonna want to hire me.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's excellent that you won't have any problems with the questions I'm going to ask you.
Exactly.
Okay. So, how would you describe your previous work experience?
Next question.
I mean, I think I'm pretty fond of asking that question. I think it's a reasonable thing to want to know about you, how your previous work experience has been. Like, that way we can know what we want to expect from you, who obviously will get hired.
Well, I tend to live in the present and not really worry about the past.
Okay.
But let me just say,
right.
At this job, I will be at this job.
That's good. Oh, okay. Next question then. What are your strengths, do you say?
I got real strong muscles. So
Well, this is a call desk, so
so I'll have no problem lifting up the phone.
obviously not. Do you think your strength, falls into any other
My
areas?
strength, it lies in my core
Oh.
and in my back.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I guess every once in a while we need to move our desks around. We do this quarterly just as a fun thing. Mix it up.
right, but we'll hire people to do that though, right?
Well, I mean, a lot of the workers here kind of enjoy the ability to like move their desk around, get a new perspective, choose where they want to be. So it's generally like something we don't force anyone to do this, but generally everyone does it on their own. So
All right, that's fine. It's not part of the job description though, right? I mean, because I don't want anybody to feel bad. Because once they see me lift my stuff around, then they'll be like, "Oh, can you lift our stuff around too?" And it's like I'm not getting paid for that.
yeah, okay. All right, yeah. It's just we'll talk about that later. It's not a big thing. It's just a fun thing. But
All right,
what would you say your greatest weakness is?
I love too much.
Love anything in particular, or just?
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I mean, so would you say like in an office environment like ours where you need to be involved with a lot of people, sometimes talking about the things that we're vulnerable about can help the team to help you and thus help everyone else out. So, maybe if you want to share now, we can get a better perspective on things we can come to expect from you.
Fine. I have a weakness for redheads.
Okay, moving right along. Do you have any physical limitations that prevent you from performing this job? I mean,
I believe I've already answered this question.
Yeah, I mean, this is just things I need to ask in order to get, make sure we address. So that's a no.
Right.
Okay. Do you have any references you can give us to who we could contact to check, your previous record that you don't seem to be too fond of
Yeah, you can.
explaining?
Here's my reference right here. This is righty. This is lefty.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you have very large fists. My goodness. I'm not sure if our phones are actually equipped to handle fists, like hands of your size. Are you comfortable with wearing a headset?
Like a fucking nerd. Like I don't need braces. What do I need the headset for?
Well, I mean, a lot of people prefer to be hands-free when they're doing this so they can take notes or work on the computer. And the headset sets really facilitate a lot of, multitask working.
Right. Well, let me answer your question with another question. Are you familiar with the Rube Goldberg machine?
No, I'm not sure what that is.
Have you ever seen a Pee Wee Herman movie?
You know what? When I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch those because they were considered scandalous. So I can't say that I have.
Okay. Well, next question then.
Okay. All right. What's your availability like right now? Cause, I understand you probably have a job right now. You may need to give them notice.
Nope.
And,
I'll start right now. Give me the job. I mean, I already told you. You're going to want me for this.
Okay. Well, God damn it. You're right. You're hired.
End scene.
Matt, no wonder you've had so many jobs. It's really intimidating to talk to you when you're like that. And it's funny because I can't see you, but I can really picture your piercing gaze when you're doing that. Because ever since you got that mustache, I feel like the only things that can exist on your face sometimes are your mustache and your piercing gaze when you really want someone to know that you want them to know something.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets a little bit more fiery when you're drunk. So let me just give a big suggestion. Don't do interviews drunk. And maybe
I'll take that into consideration.
Maybe tone down the attitude a little bit.
We'll see.
Give people a chance to ask the questions before answering them.
I just want to show them I'm on point,
I've always wanted to, like, in a era where I can just leisurely do interviews and blow them, to just go through and blow interviews. just to fuck around and see what happens. Because I've done interviews and they're the fucking worst.
Yeah.
And I really wish people would make them more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who I hang out with often now, I interviewed her for a job where I work. And she was just like, "You were fucking weird during the interview." She was like, "Why do you want this job?" is what I would say. Or, "What are you doing wanted to work here then?" And she was like, and everyone just kept looking at you like, "Why the fuck are you asking weird questions and being really combative and stuff?" I was like, you look tough and like you could like really rise to the occasion. And she did, because she made me feel like a dum-dum for asking all those questions. And I respect people who can make me feel dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I respect you so deeply, Matt.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any questions to ask me about my employment history?
I guess. Same question, back to you.
Which one? I've asked every one of the questions.
Well, I mean, what about boring jobs? I mean, I know that you worked in a wine cellar place.
So that wasn't.
Wine.
I'm trying to figure out whether that was boring or just. No, I guess it was pretty boring. Yeah, I worked for like a fancy wine store in Boca Raton, Florida.
Yeah.
Gross. I guess the thing is, it wasn't as boring as it was just like. It felt weird having to lie all the time because I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So people would ask me about wines, and I'd be like, obviously, this is, it's a Pinot Gris from Italy. And you notice there's no Egio at the end. That means it doesn't have, it's a unique variety of grape. And since it's like grown on like a little bit drier land, it's going to be a little bit more like sugary, less tannic, really marvelous with something like a fish. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the sort of shit I'd say. But mostly I would sell old people vodka. Lots of old people buying it. Because we also had like tons of liquor. Right. That part was awesome. Because I learned a lot about booze when I was there.
When you were living down here and like throughout most of our friendship, you had pretty awesome jobs. Like, and I would totally take advantage of your jobs. Like when you worked at the movie theater.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I would always go and watch like free movies.
Yeah, free movies.
And then when you were working at the comic book store, I would just come in and read comics.
Oh, yeah, I did work at a comic book store. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great. But wait a second. You mean you were just taking advantage of me?
No, I was taking advantage of the situation, not you.
I see the distinction. I respect that. Thank you,
yeah.
Matt. But yeah, the thing is I guess I tend to choose jobs with good perks.
Yeah.
Like I need to get something out of it, maybe, to like, not just the joy of the job. Because I always generally enjoy what I do, but like, fuck, working at that, it's the amount of rich people I had to deal with at the wine store. I think that bothered me the most.
Right.
They fucking hate treating people nicely.
Because they're better than you. They're better than everybody.
You're right.
Have as much money as they have.
They are better than me, but it still annoys me that they act like it. I had a lady assume that I was gay for some reason. Because I called my wife my partner. Wasn't my wife at that point. But, and she was like, "Oh," and got really chummy with me all of a sudden, even though she was kind of combative at first. And she was like, "Oh, you know what? I met this nicest man at the hotel that I'm staying at. He and his partner, like, just have been lounging around the pool all weekend. And every time I see them, they are always sure to say hello to me. And they're always dressed in the cutest matching outfits." And then, like, just stopped her story and stared at me. It's like, "Isn't that great? I complimented someone who might also be gay like you? That means I'm not a terrible person, right?" That's the only time anyone tried to connect with me at that job.
I get that a lot too. Like a lot of times people that I work with think I'm gay because I just keep to myself and I don't really talk to anybody.
One thing we know about gay people is they love to keep to themselves across the board.
Yeah. And I never really saw the connection, but somehow I gave off a huge gay vibe, apparently.
People near you have terrible gaydar.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, I give off like a kind of a gaydar, like scrambler, I guess.
I just can't get a beat on this guy. It's like he's invisible. It's my gaydar. But I mean, yeah. Anyway, that job sucked. Also, I would steal from them for periods of time. Well, it was owned by this guy, like this fucking dick asshole jerk face, like old, really snooty with his money, but obviously super well off, just living off of what's in his bank account because people, when they're rich enough, they can just do that. He was from San Francisco and he owned like fashion stores here and was some sort of bigwig in his own mind. And then he moved to like friends with a bunch of wine growers, and then he moved to Florida for some odd reason. I don't know. And he was there and just always talk about his heyday in San Francisco and just how difficult it is to be rich. Really trying to get me on the plight of the ultra wealthy, but like super sad, misogynist. Just like couldn't stand being around him. He barely let me have time off work to get married.
What a great guy.
I think he said like, "Oh yeah, good luck with that. I mean, congratulations, but like, you know, good luck with that." Just like, shit, man, you're depressing. But he was constantly terrified of people fucking him over or stealing his money. So any chance I got, I stole from him, of course.
Just to prove him right.
Yeah, I had a well-stocked liquor cabinet at my house. Which is funny because on the other side of the wall from me was, because I was like living in the in-law suite behind my own landlord, and like on the other side of the wall was their self-made bar. It was just like like a room in their house full of alcohol, like floor to ceiling bar. Yet somehow I felt it, and they were like, "Anytime you want, just come on over to the bar and take whatever you want." They didn't talk like that, but it's pretty much what they did. But yeah, they're super nice, despite the fact that they had such a well-stocked, like, bar. They were always drinking Bud Light outside of my door. And, you know what? I gotta respect that. You don't want to spend too much money when you're drinking every day. Hey, amen to that. But yeah, what's a dream job for Matt Shipway? The Matt Shipway. Sorry.
Like my dream job
would
be probably writing for a TV show.
Yeah,
I'd really like that.
You and I both share that.
Yeah.
Hey, we should write a TV show.
Oh shit! Why didn't we ever think of that before?
I think we tried that.
Good
old Faye Palchin. Anyway,
that was fun.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I agree. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. It's something I would like to do. But it also sounds like it requires some work.
Yeah.
So I see why neither of us have really busted into that yet.
Yeah. I think more realistically, I mean, because ever since we started doing this, I've been learning how to edit things. So that's taken up a lot of my time, and it's actually, I'm having a good time learning how to do it.
It's fun, right?
Working with sound. Yeah, like most people find it tedious, but I don't. So I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe teaching myself a little bit more and see if hopefully, I mean, I'm sure I probably can't find a job doing it, but it'd be cool if I could.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, cause I agree, editing's really fun because I've done video for us and then later for other stuff. I edited a porn recently.
Oh, sweet.
And yeah, it's super fun. I think it's nice making something cohesive, especially if you have like multiple cuts. So editing maybe in the future for Matt Shipway.
Let's hope and see.
Don't tell me what to do.
All right.
I mean, you can invite me. I guess you sort of did invite me. Like, we should do this. All right. I won't hold that against you too much.
All right. Good.
But I mean, it's pretty much my same answer. I'd love to write for something.
Yeah.
Cause it's cause the life of a writer is so glamorous. I write right now for an undisclosed, startup in San Francisco, but everyone works for a startup in San Francisco or works for the assholes who work at startups.
Yeah.
Yeah. San Francisco's
yeah.
weird.
I had an interview probably about a year and a half ago, to be a writer for like an online content, like humor website.
Ooh.
But I was so nervous. Like I got the job because I found it on Craigslist of all places.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty, it's a company that's kind of up there, And
Ooh, which one is it?
I don't know if I can say.
All right, never mind. I won't.
Yeah. But so I went in for an interview, but so what I did is I didn't have like a resume that had any credentials like towards that. So I just sent them one of my stand-up videos.
Right.
And they're like, we never usually watch stand-up videos. We usually just throw them away. But we watched yours and we thought you were funny, so we invited you to come in and interview with us. And I was like, holy shit, I was super fucking nervous.
Yeah.
And I wore like a suit and a tie. And I get there and the place is like so relaxed and laid back. Nobody, like the people interviewing me was like in shorts and like a cut off shirt. And I was like, I'm not going to get this job. And yeah, I didn't.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's funny. I just interviewed someone for my job who was wearing a suit, and we remarked on it every single time because he's been through multiple interviews, and he has not stopped wearing it, even though we were all like, it's really weird that you're wearing a suit. He's like this gigantic meathead. It's fantastic. But I don't know. After interviewing a lot, I found that people fucking hate doing interviews. So like they
not just getting interviewed, but also the people doing the interview.
Yeah, no, they hate doing it. They want it to be over as soon as possible. They want you to be the person that they hire. I feel like I'm going to be a lot more calm in my next interviews after having interviewed a bunch of people, because I'm like, you don't want to be doing this. Just give me the job. Honestly, you like the tactics of being really assertive and like being what they want or acting like you are what they want is like fucking half of it. It's so obnoxious. God, I hate interviewing. So fucking stupid. So many creepy people out there too.
Yeah.
One guy I interviewed at one point, told us that he was like a fan of like on the side of Gamergate, like totally down with oppressing women in in the gaming industry. And we were just like, it was me and like 3 other women interviewing him. And I was like, what are you doing? You don't. Why are you going to be talking about being misogynistic in front of a bunch of women? Okay, bye. Also, he had the creepiest like face. It's definitely the type of face that never change. Like his mouth moves, but sort of not really. None of his face moves, and his eyes don't move.
Just expressionless.
Yeah, well, more like intense, overly intense.
Okay,
in an almost expressionless way. Oh fuck! Interviewing is so stupid. But I really hate interviews, and I'm terrible at them. And I don't know how to get better. Because I don't have very high self-esteem.
Neither do I.
Because I'm like, oh man,
you and me both.
I wanna be what you want, but I probably am not.
Just tell me what I need to do. Tell me who you want me to be.
And from what I can tell, that's the worst thing you can do, is like try to say what you think they want to hear.
Yeah.
And
like, just be yourself, but I don't even like myself, so I doubt that you're gonna like me.
Yeah. Look, I don't like me, but my friends say they like me.
Right.
Do you want to be my friend? Oh, no, I should have said that. I mean, do you want to be my boss, friend? Leave the words "I love you" out of an interview. I don't know. I'm really bad at them. I don't know how I've ever gotten jobs, but I've pretty much gotten every job that I've interviewed for. Sans a couple. But I prefer the jobs that don't aren't difficult to get. Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
The ones that are like, you don't have any experience? Ooh, come on in. Pizza Hut.
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of times, like, I've gotten, like, the last job I had no experience in it, and they're like, good, because we want to be able to, like, mold you into the way that our company does things.
What the hell did they do?
I worked in collections.
Oh, ooh. That makes sense.
And, yeah. And so they didn't want me to have any bad habits that I might have found through another company, which is pretty much why I got the job.
Awesome. You're like, fear not.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. You're hired.
Well, that sounds kind of fun / scary. You weren't the one doing the collecting, were you?
No, I was doing it on the phone, just like for credit card bills and stuff.
All right.
And
so you haven't paid your credit card bill on
yeah, pretty much. So believe it or not, most people aren't very happy to speak to creditors or collectors. So
I'm amazed that you can even get them on the phone.
Well, it was very rare. Like, I would call over 200 people a day and maybe speak to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of my day was just making phone calls and not talking to people.
Like, I remember at the coffee shop that I worked at, there was a guy who was being hounded by creditors, and, like, just to get he also works at the Punchline here. And so I don't think he cared that much about this job. So he would answer his cell phone during work hours. I'm above him, by the way. And he would come and give me the phone and be like, hey, you need to answer this and say that, that person doesn't have this number anymore.
I was like, you could do that. I'm pretty sure they don't know the sound of your voice.
And I did. Because you know what? I'm a good manager. I look out for the people underneath me. I'm Mr. Manager, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, essentially people know now, just don't answer phone calls from numbers you don't know. That's like the secret to it.
Yeah.
But that still sounds tiring, having to call 200 people a day.
No, yeah. It was, it was pretty tiring.
God, you've had
and
a lot
boring.
Of jobs. You've had a lot of jobs. I'm impressed with you.
Not really.
I feel like, all right, you've done like...
Well, yeah, kind of. Now I think about it.
Because I've had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jobs. I guess that's... Yeah, 7 jobs.
Okay.
Not all of them great. I worked at a comic book store. Look, I worked at a comic book store.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 jobs I've always wanted to have. Well, 3 industries I've always wanted to have jobs in. One was classically it just popped out of my head. Hold on, the comic book industry, which I did, working at a comic shop.
Mm-hmm.
The other one would be politics, because those people seem terrible. And I just want to peek in on that. The other is the porn industry, because that just seems like a surreal business.
Right.
Like, I would work in any position there. No pun intended.
Heyo.
Stop it. I'm annoyed that I even did that. But yeah, it would doing filing for it. It would just be weird to see what goes on in the background. Oh, I've also worked for a school, so I guess that's 8. I guess I've had a lot of jobs. 9. Never mind, I've had a lot of jobs. Shut up. Yeah, so... trying to think of if there's any job I want to elucidate on. I mean, comic book shop was always great, because classically my favorite part about Comic-Con, you've been to Comic-Con, right, Matt Shipway?
Yeah.
Good. My favorite part about Comic-Con classically was I felt so good about myself afterwards. It's like, I'm nerdy, but these motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's a good place to make you feel better about yourself.
Look at them. Holy fuck. What are you even dressed as? That was in one issue. It was a flashback, you motherfucker. A fucking flashback in an alternate timeline. Like, I knew what it was, but I didn't fucking dress as that, okay?
Yeah.
Working at a comic shop was just like, oh, I feel really good about myself, because I'm not, because it was also a LAN center at the time, so, like, I'm not playing WoW 17 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel good about myself.
It should.
Yeah, something has to. I mean, I knew more about comics than anyone there, but, like, that's okay, because I worked there, you know?
Right.
It's
That's your job.
Yeah, it's my fucking job to do this. Also, I guess I have really shitty eating habits now, but then I got to scoff at the people whose, like, main sustenance was Hot Pockets and Mountain Dew, which we also sold.
Yeah. You are enablers.
You know what? I've always loved being an enabler, though. It's really a favorite pastime of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I don't have to feel bad about all the terrible things I do.
Exactly.
Yeah. You should have a drink, Matt Shipway.
I got my Gatorade.
That's not alcoholic. Hell, it's not alcoholic.
Yeah, you're not really selling it right now.
It's really tasty. Alcohol's it's delicious. Oh, I'm drinking whiskey. Whiskey a haul. So Matt Shipway, currently unemployed.
Yep.
Does it ever... See, I fear unemployment like crazy. Right now, I
Mhm.
think it's
As you should.
the first time in my life where I've ever only had one job.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've usually had some sort of current thing.
Right.
And I'm terrified of losing it at any given moment because I have terrible anxiety. And then I think like, oh man, if I lose my job, then it'll create a chain reaction. I pretty much just start creating alternate universes
Right.
where like my life falls apart just because I lose one job.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that every time I have a job. You would have two. I'm just like, oh man, one goes away, then the other goes away, then you can't pay rent, and then all this happens, then you have to go to fucking bankruptcy court, whatever that is. I don't even think poor people can do bankruptcy court, but whatever. So I don't know. But then like, people get by. I mean, yeah. Like everyone just seems to get by. Like I'm so paranoid about not having a job all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have one, so you shouldn't stress yourself out too much about it.
I don't know. It could, working in the fast-paced startup industry of San Francisco where jobs can come and go.
Well, then you can just find another one.
Oh, but what if you don't? And then everything goes wrong. And then everyone hates you because you're like,
Well, I mean, there's plenty of perks that you can move into, lots of homeless people you can become friends with, so.
you're right.
You're
I
alone.
am. You know what? They are sometimes pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I stress a lot. But like, I like the laid back because even when you have a job, you don't seem to stress too much about like losing it. I know people who stress way more.
Mm-hmm.
I envy your cool, Matt Shipway.
Well, I mean, it gets to a point to where, I only start stressing about losing a job if it's been mentioned to me. And then I'm like, okay, maybe now I should start worrying about it. And, sometimes I can get myself out of it, sometimes I can't.
I stress about getting into the position where they might want to say that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had like jobs before where, the company's going to be closing or we're going to be relocating to like an area way farther away. So that's where I'm just like, okay, well, I don't really give a shit about this job anymore. So I'm just going to wait until they fire me and just keep collecting this money until, they get rid of me.
Anyway.
And another way to circumvent the whole stressing out about losing your job, if you're really that worried about it, start looking for another one.
There's this, guess what's based in Berkeley over here?
What?
Image Comics.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really should be.
Yeah?
If anyone's out there who knows people at Image, and you think I'm hilarious,
Todd McFarlane, I know you're listening.
have them. He doesn't. It's not the same thing anymore.
What?
It's not part of that.
What? That's
It's different
Image.
now. It's different.
Is it?
I'm
Oh.
pretty sure it's blanket owned by DC still now.
Oh, well.
Funny
I don't
how
really
shit
read
works out.
Image anymore, so.
Oh, Image is so good. Let's just talk about comics for another hour.
Okay.
It's an hour and 55-minute long podcast episode. And everyone's like, oh, it was kind of fun until they started talking about the fucking difference between Wildcats and modern Image Comics and the spectrum in between. Wildcats sucked, man. Don't defend it.
I can't. I think I read maybe one issue
Okay.
and watched like 2 episodes of the cartoon.
Yeah,
That was it.
cartoon? We can't
Yeah.
do this. We can't do this, man. Stop.
It's already started.
We need to pull up.
Yeah, we did this last episode, so.
But that was only about
We had our
movies. Sort
yeah,
of.
that's true.
We did get into X Factor.
Yeah.
X-Force? I don't remember.
X Factor, yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't know why I wanted to talk about jobs so much this time. I just think it's a rich thing that like consumes so much of our time and that I spend so much time being paranoid about
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And then my wife, Michelle, like gets fired, freaks out for a day and then is like, I'm going to be fine. And then gets like, yeah, and like gets back up on the horse. Whereas the moment I feel rejection, I'm like, oh my God, everything is ruined. I need to handle rejection a little bit better.
Yeah,
Matt, reject me.
Okay, we're done here.
Okay.
I'm done. We're not going to do this anymore. You're too I don't know. Your anxiety is making me anxious.
Ooh, good. It's infective. But yeah, I've enjoyed this time with you, and thank you for sharing with me your rich history of work.
Right. And if anybody's listening and wants me for their job, please pay me money.
You know what you should do is just go in an interview, have this podcast queued up to the part where you start doing the interview, and just play that for them.
Right.
And be like, look, I had this guy convinced. Your Honor.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would call the person Your Honor, but it amuses me that you would. Anyway, you want to wrap this shit up?
Sure.
Do you have anything you want to like put out there? You have any like new shit that you're doing aside from the what was that podcast again?
It doesn't matter.
Come on. You need to get better at. Come on.
Plugging myself.
Yeah, plug it up.
All right.
Plug that shit up. Have you been tweeting?
Okay. No, I don't tweet.
Fuck. All right, do your shit.
I probably should though. That might help.
Really would.
Yeah.
Good at getting your ideas out there. Put all your one-liners out there. Waste them.
Yeah, but then people are gonna steal them.
I know.
That's how conceited I am about my jokes. Like they're that. This is my gold.
You know what?
I don't want people taking my gold.
I got the same like feeling at one point because I was putting out a lot of funny shit, and I was like, wait a second, I'm putting out all this funny shit that I can't use anymore because anyone else could just steal these motherfuckers. And I put them in my phone, and now they don't go anywhere. So, fuck. But yeah, what's your other podcast called?
It's the Ham Brothers podcast.
Who's on that?
It's me.
Uh-huh.
My friend Caius, might remember from I think our third episode that we had on here.
Yeah.
And my buddy Rob.
Uh-huh.
And
Robert
Brunel.
Oh.
And
of the Slow Forward?
Of the Slow Forward.
Oh my goodness. Celebrity
yes.
status.
And we pretty much we drink and talk shit to each other.
Oh, that's
essentially.
Nice. Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
But it's fun.
It is. And what are you on Twitter that you're going to be doing more?
I don't know. Oh, Shipberg?
There you go. At
There, yeah.
Shipberg.
Yeah.
And I'm at Submanic. Submanic. I know how to spell. And give us one suggestion for some sort of fun media to consume over the week while I queue up music.
I don't understand.
You all should watch Daredevil season 2, though.
Oh yeah,
oh my
that's
God.
really good.
Just watch that shit.
I also came across there's this YouTube page that's really fun. It's called Hop.
YouTube page or channel?
A channel, yes, YouTube
Okay,
channel.
good.
It's
Oh,
called
thanks,
Hop.
Dad.
HAWP. It stands for Hey Ash, What You Playing? And it's really funny, like 2-minute videos, and yeah, that's my new obsession right now.
Okay, Hop it is. Hop on it,
Yeah,
guys. All right. Well, I think we've done it. I think we successfully did that shit.
we have.
All right. So,
Congratulations to you, sir,
to me, why?
for making it through our podcast.
It's not a trouble at all. It's a joy talking to you, Matt Shipway. I cherish these things every week. I like hearing your voice.
As do I.
I've heard people say you have a cute voice.
What? Who? Tell me
I'm not
now.
going to say.
Okay.
All right. They're real, though, I assure you.
Oh, all right.
All right. So this has been Matt. Let's give it a shot, Shipway, and Joshua Harvey for Meet Cute. And this is Work It.
I love your braids and your mouth full of phones. You love the way my butt boom, 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 boom. Keep your eyes on my boom, 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 boom.
Meet cute.